Hey, good morning again. So I just wanted to talk, I guess, about Mandela effect in the Bible again, because the Bible is the most important thing to me in the world. Absolutely, it saved my life. It gives me, it makes the world brand new, especially as you and the fact that you can take everything you learn back to the Bible and or everything you learn about. And I've been blessed to have had some pretty amazing things dropped on my plate. I don't get to travel. I haven't gotten to travel very much, but the world's been made brand new to me time and time and time again by the splendid revelation of this magnificent existence. Um, and Scripture is there all the time to have relevance, to have pertinence, to be correct, and to be accurate, and to be a guide to me. And so I love the Bible. Stand on it till the day I die. In Jesus Christ, it's the living Son of God, uh, the perfect sacrifice for our sins. The way, the truth, the life. The gospel of Jesus Christ, I believe, is absolutely true, 100%, and it's the only way to go. It saved my life. It saves me every day. But moving on, say thank you to everybody that comments. You bunch of brilliant people out there, like so smart, so well read, so well researched. I'm very glad that you've seen my videos and you've commented, and I really appreciate the feedback and the interaction. It's a wonderful experience that I'm having, and I really appreciate you all. Um, and Excellent. As I get more organized, maybe I can like personalize responses a little better or something. But whatever. Thank you all very much. I very much appreciate it. So, what is Mandela effect? Where does it come from? And I have to say, look, in my opinion, we it's difficult to know things for sure, but there is evidence, there's correlation, there is stuff that corroborates with other stuff, and we do have consistencies in our day-to-day existence and our lives that I think if you're familiar with, that should limit the speculation that's necessary. If you're familiar with Occam's razor, one of my I'm not a sci-fi fan at all. I love Ender's Game. Fantastic book, Ender's Game, by Orson Scott Card. If you haven't read it, read it. It's just a fantastic, fantastic book for so many reasons. So, but there's this mythical hero in the book. His name's Mazer Rackham, and this legendary hero is just was it an anagram? It's a rearranging of the letters for Occam's razor. It's Mazer Rackham, this hero. Occam's razor is the principle that the easiest, least complicated solution is most likely the correct one, and that whatever explanation requires the least amount of speculation and justification is most likely the one that's true. And I've cut myself on Occam's razor all the time, all of my life, and it's been a very painful lesson trying to bring myself back from the fantastic. I have a very strong tendency, I have had in the past, a very strong tendency to get wrapped up in these amazing things that are presented me and get carried away. So what is Mandela effect? Um, well, first of all, I'm of the firm belief that we are singular creatures with a singular soul. If it's fragmented or not, I don't know. I don't buy into the whole multiple functioning Earths idea, just because I don't think there's a lot of evidence that we can reach out for and find to substantiate it. It is a very spiritual thing, and I'm not saying it's not true. I don't know. But what I'm saying, I think it is. What I'm saying, I think it most likely is, because we can. And going back to like things like CERN, the LHC, over in Geneva, Switzerland. So real quick, how God has sort of talked to me throughout my whole life. He's talked to me in a variety of ways, but the way that I've been able to listen is he'll drop me this very bizarre breadcrumb, and I'll learn this fantastic piece of totally irrelevant information. It has nothing to do with anything that I'm aware of in the world whatsoever. It's just this standalone piece of, wow, that's really neat. And then sometime down the road, he fills in around that bit of information, and he gives me a bigger picture of this whole brand new aspect of life. There's lots of examples in my life about this, like when I learned about mitochondrial DNA. I learned about that playing video games, Parasite Eve, PlayStation 1. So God gives me breadcrumbs before he reveals anything. It's like he prepares me for this big thumper with this bizarre question that stands alone. I digress. I'm sorry. So what is it? I think we have to look at stuff that we all can have evidence of, like the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. And there's lots of these. There's thousands of particle colliders around the world. This isn't a new thing. And there are people that practice magic. There are people that open portals. There are people that build devices to open portals. Whether or not you believe these things have happened, people have actually summoned creatures like witches and wizards and warlocks, summoning demons and spirits to aid them in and give them advantage in this world. Or technological, Stargate, wormholes, travel the cosmos in all dimensions. Whether or not you believe in these things, there's people that are telling you that it's happening. Jordy Rose and the D-Wave computer, they're telling you this is how they do what they do. They're telling you this is how their product does what it does. Is that it reaches into other dimensions. Okay? And witches and witchcraft, these practices have been around for thousands of years because there's a legitimacy. Stuff happens. Stuff happens when people commit and put their true energy into this, and they get results. Otherwise, these practices wouldn't have persisted for thousands of years. They wouldn't have been warred against. These insane witch hunts, which I do not condone, like the Salem witch trials, which is just religious fervor gone nuts, and I don't condone that. But the fact is that these reactions have occurred towards not imagined threats. Because the Salem witch trials was not the only occasion, and when you look back at the Inquisition and stuff, and it didn't just happen to witches and pagans. Okay, it happened from one time or another to every religious and spiritual practice from some other spiritual, religious, and practice. But we have things like CERN and other colliders and D-Wave computer, and we have AI and people like Elon Musk telling us that this is summoning the demon. Jordy Rose telling us that we are summoning not demons, but Lovecraftian old ones. They're summoning creatures from other very powerful, very intelligent, very old creatures that have their own agenda, their own stuff going on, and they are doing this. They're telling you they're doing this. And if you think it's fake, that's fine. Maybe they are lying. I don't know if Sophia, the AI robot that's the citizen of Saudi Arabia or whatever, I don't know if that she's a legitimate AI creature. There are people that pose plenty of questions, and that there's nothing really substantially difficult that's ever posed to these AI robots. It's all basic, nonsense, superficial, journalistic questions. Do you want to destroy humanity? Would you ever destroy humanity? Can we be friends? Blah, 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 blah. It's never a really difficult joke about anything paradoxical about human duality and stuff like that, or super technical questions, which I'm not even smart enough to begin to think of. But my point is this: we all can get information about wizards and witches. We can get information about JPL, Jack Parsons Laboratory, Jack Parsons, L. Ron Hubbard, Aleister Crowley, Helena Blavatsky, the Kabbalah, the Sephiroth, the Tree of Life, esoteric Gnosticism and mystical, magical goings-ons. We can get information about this stuff and we can dig into it. Whereas like this hopscotching from world to world or universe to universe, dimension to dimension, there's no way to substantiate that, and it's just kind of a frightening speculation that you're a ping pong ball just going whither to and wherever randomness decides, it seems, or maybe there is an order to it, but it's still just being bounced around, and I'm not comfortable with that, and I don't feel like that's really happening. But then there's things like foglets and smart dust, programmable nanotechnology, programmable matter. These things are reality, and we have information about them, and we can all look into them, and we can all research nanotechnology, foglets, programmable matter. Look those things up. You can just Google them. Programmable matter. That's freaky stuff right there. And what they advertise you is 10 years old. You know what they say? Hey, look what we're just starting to do. Da 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 da. No. That's old news. It's old news for people in the know. I'm not necessarily someone in the know. I'm as in the know as I possibly can be. But we can all get information about those things. Those things do correlate in a cogent manner, and they create a cohesive big picture, and they corroborate one another, and they can be substantiated, and we can all experience the same wealth of evidence and information that's presented about these things, all the documentation, all the white papers, and all the other research that thousands and thousands of other people, maybe not that many, but lots of other people have done, tens of thousands of hours of research, and brought us tremendous wealth of information about all those things. So I believe it most likely has something to do with programmable matter, smart dust, nanotechnology, and AI. As well as there's probably some association with CERN and D-Wave. People say that's not the case. It's fine, maybe it's not the case. Let me tell you what, I just stepped on a tack. Let me tell you what, I don't need someone to point the finger at. I don't need someone to blame for Mandela effect. What am I going to do, write CERN a letter? Am I going to go somehow get a ticket to Europe and go stand outside their headquarters with a sign? Am I going to start a petition against CERN or Harvard? We all need to stop Harvard. Chemtrailing and spraying the skies and putting that nanotechnology and those particulates into the air and whatever else poison that they're doing and changing the atmosphere. Harvard University, geosolar engineering, check that out. That may play a big part into how people are seeing things change. As far as if this is some sort of great deception, absolutely it's possible. Who are they affected? Like, check out Magellan's disease, Morgellons disease, about people who have this nanofiber coming out of them, and it's like their body's rejecting the nanotechnology that I've been talking about, the stuff being sprayed up in the airs, foglets and smart dust. It's like their body's rejected these things, and they're coming out in long fibers through sores in their body, and it's just this really weird thing. But supposedly the rest of us have absorbed this nanotechnology, and who knows how that's going to play out. So who knows if the ones who are affected are the ones being deceived or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to feel about a lot of this. But, so there's all that. There's all that. You know, we got to look into it and keep, and just keep researching, but, you know, it's hard to pin anything down for sure, but there is absolute evidence that all of us can partake in, and I think that's the evidence that needs to be explored most seriously. Let's not dismiss anyone, and let's not be rude or mean or post ignorant comments, or you just disagree. If you've got a disagreement, please absolutely say it outright and make your statement. Don't just say you disagree and leave it at that, or say we don't know what we're talking about and leave it at that. Give the reason, and or at least just a quick blurb or a reference to someone that will explain the point, whatever you think we're wrong about. It's so nice to see so many smart people responding and joining in. God bless everybody. Let's keep digging for truth and holding each other up. Spirit of courage and peace. And let's enjoy the ride.